A lot of people think that, you need to be all completely 100% in on coaching to get results from it. And I push that on people, but I also let them know, doing 80% right. If you walk away with 80%, you're going to be walking away with a better life, a better body, and knowledge that you'll be able to use for the rest of your life. What's up, my friend? I'm health expert Ted Rice, and today I'm coming to you from Phuket, Thailand. We're back from Malaysia, and we are in Phuket again, finishing up the last stint before we end up back in the United States to go visit my dad for the holidays. Can't wait to see him. I've been talking with him every couple days, and just super excited to see him. Have a bunch of presents for him as well. Anyway, today I'm going to be sharing something kind of personal, and something that is not just personal, but something I'm going to pull back the curtains, as they say, and I'm going to share with you my experience of signing up with a nutrition coach and getting coached on nutrition and what it's really like. Okay, so if you've ever wondered, if you've ever listened to this podcast and heard me plug my coaching group and said, yeah, man, you're talking about coaching, but really, come on, you sell that. That's what you sell, Ted. Of course, you're going to talk about it. Of course, you're going to say that coaching is great and all that because you sell it. It's so obvious. However, yeah, and you would be right, but I sell it because I believe in it, and I hire coaches. Not only do I hire coaches for business and for all types of things, but I know a lot about nutrition, and I just hired a coach not too long ago to help me level up my game. And I'm going to share with you the dirty details. Not that dirty, but don't let your mind go to the gutter. But I guess what would you say, the real Talk Friday, which is what today is all about, right? And if this is your first time listening and you're wondering what I'm rambling about, this show is all about breaking down science-based information on how to lose fat, prevent disease, and live a longer, healthier life. But in today's Real Talk Friday, I just have a conversation with you and share something out of my life. And as I said, I hired a coach, and let me see, I'm going to actually look at the spreadsheet here and to see what week I'm in. So I'm in week 11 of a 12-week program. So I'm about done. And I just wanted to tell you what actually happens and what you can learn about my experience in the coaching program. So here's why I did this. Number one, I wanted to level up my nutrition game. And you may say, well, Ted, you know a lot about nutrition, don't you? Yes, I do. I know I help with people with their nutrition all the time. But I get really into what I do, and I wanted a different perspective. But if I'm really honest with you, a big part of the issue was I'm traveling. I'm like on perpetual vacation. Now, don't get this wrong. I'm not sitting by the beach working 4 hours a week like the name of Tim Ferriss's book. I work hard. I work long hours. I step up for my clients, my coaching clients, and promoting or producing this podcast and putting it out. It's not easy work. I love it, not complaining, but I'm just trying to say, if you think that I'm on the beach 95% of the time, you're wrong. So I wanted to level up my nutrition because I've been traveling, and imagine being in vacation on different places, and you change cultures, you change cuisines, and you're having to constantly figure out, okay, what do I eat here so that I continue to lose fat? And not just lose fat, because I was 15% body fat, 14-ish% body fat. I mean, get down to 10% body fat. What do I need to do that? Even though I'm eating delicious food all the time, I'm eating out multiple times per week, I'm eating things like flourless chocolate cake and going to brunches and just eating all these different Asian desserts. So I couldn't even tell you what some of them are. I just I'll get one of these and one of those. How do you get results in that type of situation? I needed some help with that. So I hired a coach. And I want to also say this. because it's really important. Getting lean is a priority, but it's not the top priority. My top priority is my business. My top priority are my clients, stepping up for my clients. My other priorities are stepping up for this podcast. Those are my top. The business, in other words, as a sum total, is my number one thing in my life. All right. And I'm just talking personally, like goals here, not people. Obviously, my dad and Giselle are number one, but I'm talking about like personal goals, like with what I'm trying to do, what is really important to me. And a lot of stepping up for the business has to do with taking care of my family. Why am I telling you that? Because a lot of people think that, you need to be all completely 100% in on coaching to get results from it. And I push that on people, but I also let them know doing 80% right. If you walk away with 80%, you're going to be walking away with a better life, a better body, and knowledge that you'll be able to use for the rest of your life. And that's why I'm sharing that with you. So it wasn't my number one goal, like, I got to lose fat. I got to get in better shape. I want to look nice for photos so I can put them on Instagram and get a lot of likes and a lot of comments talking about how I don't look, 42 years old and how I've turned back the clock, That was a small part, but that wasn't the main thing I was after. So now the program starts, and just a few weeks into it, I ended up getting dengue fever. And as I shared with you, it kicked my butt, had to go to the hospital every day, get my platelets checked, and my platelets were dropping so low. Couldn't get out of bed for, I think, like 10 days, maybe even 2 weeks. Was barely eating and lost weight. And you may say, you see, it even helped you lose weight. It helped you. Guess what? It was mostly muscle that I lost and water. Some fat too, maybe, but the weight all came back. I mean, the fat came back, and the fat came back, right? I looked leaner, and it wasn't fat, by the way. It was just water weight, probably. The fat came back, and I wasn't that much leaner, right? I looked lean for a little while, and then as soon as I started eating normally again, boom. So it wasn't like it gave me a boost. It kicked my butt and took me out of the gym. And when I got back into the gym, finally, a month later, I think it took, I can't remember now, 3 or 4 weeks before I even did my first workout. So this is what happened during my coaching program. And then recently in Malaysia, which I haven't told you about, it was a horrible trip to Penang, Malaysia. I got food poisoning right when we were about to leave. I had sushi at Phuket Airport in Thailand at a place where I had eaten prior. So I thought it was safe. I ate actually the same sushi bento box with sushi and sashimi because you get just an amazing sushi. It's very inexpensive here compared to the US. And it's actually better quality most of the time. So I got sick and I had chronic diarrhea for, I think, 4 days in. And so I was miserable. I wasn't sleeping because I'd wake up in the middle of the night, sometimes more than once, to go use the toilet. Okay. It was rough. Why am I telling you this? Because that's real life. Things happen. Maybe they're not traveling through Southeast Asia and getting food poisoning and bitten by mosquitoes and getting sick with some illness that doesn't even exist in the United States. But something happens. Either something with work happens, someone's father gets sick, a work emergency happens that you got to leave for a week to go handle, kids get sick, sometimes injuries happen. This is life. And when you're going through coaching, and really not even if you're in a coaching program, if you think that the key to getting in shape is to say, you know what, things are just a little too crazy right now, I'm going to press pause on my health and fitness. In other words, have that all or nothing mentality. And I'll come back to health and fitness, to working out, to eating right when I feel better, when it's less busy, when dad gets out of the hospital on Monday, whatever the excuse is, now sometimes we get taken out for real. Like I couldn't exercise pay attention to my nutrition when I had dengue fever. Actually, I was paying attention to my nutrition because my coach was telling me eat protein, veggies, and stay hydrated. And he helped me through it. So in that sense, I was paying attention to my nutrition, but my priorities and my action items, the things that I was given to do, changed based on my situation. And that's what I do with my clients as well. When they have a knee injury, I change their workouts. If they got a special situation going on where they need their nutrition adjusted, we handle that. If they're traveling, we handle that. What is the lesson here? You step up and handle things and do whatever you can always. That is why I've been in shape and getting in better shape. I was fat, 22 or 23% body fat when I was 37, 36 even. And now I'm down to 12. And by the way, 25% obese. So I was almost an obese health and fitness professional. Not good for business. If you haven't seen some of my photos, I share some of our photos in our email list, which you can sign up for at our website, legendarylifepodcast.com. Not to see photos of me, I'm just saying, okay? If you want to just see photos, you can go to Instagram or Facebook because I post photos to let people know, here's what I look like. This is what I'm doing. Here's what I look like. I eat flourless chocolate cake. I go to brunches. I'm losing body fat. And if you ever say, oh, well, it's your age or maybe just your good genetics, like so many people used to tell me in my 20s, that wasn't true then either. And I was fat in my 30s. How come that happened if my genes are so good? It's not your age or metabolism or any of those reasons. It is your strategy. You simply just don't know what you're doing. Or you know what you're doing, but you keep pressing the pause button. And when things get a little tough, instead of adjusting your workouts, instead of adjusting your nutrition like I did, my workouts went to zero. When my workouts went to get up out of the bed and go urinate in the toilet was my workout, and then go back into bed and lay down there and fall back asleep when I had dengue fever. Let me tell you, it was rough. Okay, really bad. Got a little scary there for a second when my platelet levels kept dropping. So that was my workout. All right. I wasn't working out, in other words, but I still had nutrition goals. And you better believe as soon as I could get out of bed and do a workout, that's what I was doing. And that's real life. That's the people who make a change in their body. They're not waiting for the perfect time because perfection doesn't exist. And perfect times certainly don't exist. And if you are living in a perfect time in your life, it's only a matter of time until the chaos happens. Someone gets sick, the tire breaks, the tire gets flat, whatever happens. You got to take the car in for the shop. You got to miss the warning. You step up and do what you can when you can, and you keep that as always I will commit to always doing something. I'm saying that not because it's a inspirational thing to say. I'm saying it because that's real freaking life. And if you think because I'm in the health and fitness business and that I know a lot of stuff and sound real smart on the podcast, you think I have it any easier than you when it comes to stuff going wrong in my life? Hey, everyone's in the same boat. The millionaires that I trained in Miami Beach, always having problems. Always, always, always having problems. For some of these guys, it was the employees, a lot of employee issues. I had one client who bought a yacht and he couldn't park it in the front of his oceanfront home, right? Not ocean, I'm sorry, bayfront home, because it was on the bay, not the ocean. You can't park a boat in the ocean, not a yacht anyway. Well, you can, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. He wanted it right off the dock in his backyard. And he got a little swindled and he couldn't do it. So the point is, no matter, now that's a high quality problem. That's a real first world problem. But let me tell you, the guy was beside himself with frustration about it. And all I'm saying is there is no perfect life. Even if you make a lot of money, even if you know a lot about health and fitness, you've got to develop resilience. You've got to develop a commitment to always doing something and never backing off when you need to, but never giving up and only doing what backing off the amount that you need to, right? Like I wasn't going to force myself to work out when I was in bed with dengue fever. I couldn't have done it anyway, physically, literally, almost impossible to move very much. And I'm saying this because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I've got this going on. It's very crazy right now. I just moved. Listen, your life is never going to really slow down. What actually happens with people is their life doesn't slow down. They just get to the point where they can't handle it anymore. They can't handle being fat anymore or out of shape anymore or looking at themselves in the mirror anymore. They get to the breaking point where they feel like, you know what? I need to do something now. And so I want to say to you, if you're feeling that way, well, I get it. And I want to tell you, Christmas time is almost here. The holidays. And what's going to happen then? You think your life is going to get slower? What most people do is they put on extra pounds during the holidays. Then they commit to taking it off with the New Year, New You crowd, right? Which they end up giving up and the cycle repeats itself. But I want to tell you, if you're in that cycle, if you're tired of it, if you've hit rock bottom and you're not using those excuses about it's not a good time, I don't have any money, even though I do have money, I'm just, buying big TVs and I want to upgrade my car from the BMW 3 Series to the BMW 5 Series, whatever it is that you've got going on in your life. If you're really committed to getting this handled, you could be 5, 10, or 15 pounds down by Christmas time. You could be stronger than you've ever been before. You could be eating carbs every single day and making your keto friends jealous, which let me tell you, that's a lot of fun to do. You could be working out 3 days per week or maybe even 4 for 45 minutes and make incredible progress. You could be smiling at your holiday parties, leaner than ever and eating the things that you really want to eat. And people are looking at you in awe, like, how come you're not putting on weight? And I'm just, my waistline's expanding an inch by the day. And you could be looking back at your legendary life program experience and saying, wow, I can't believe it. This is too good to be true. I wasted so much time listening to podcasts, trying to find the perfect program, trying to find the perfect, listening to all these things, trying to do things myself, trying to put together the perfect program myself. I was waiting for the perfect time. I wasn't taking action. I'm so glad I took a chance and invested in myself. And after that, if you take what I teach you during the 12-week Legendary Life program and continue using it, well, you could end up like so many of our clients. I got a client who lost 100 pounds and I recently connected with her. Her name's Sarah. You may have even heard her testimonial where I interviewed her. And years later, since I worked with her, I haven't worked with her. I worked with her before we moved to Asia. So over 2 years ago, and she's maintained her 100-pound weight loss within a few pounds. Why? Because she took what she learned from that program and used it. And she was in a cycle where she was getting injured and putting the weight back on, then start working out too hard and losing the weight, then getting injured again, and then getting depressed and eating. She was in a bad cycle. Or you could be like, so many of our other clients who you can go check out on our success story page. So if you're tired of not getting the results you want, if you're tired of working out hard for months and eating quote unquote clean, only to lose a couple pounds or none at all. Had a client who joined recently, shout out to Bassie, who was working out 6 days a week and eating clean. She was gaining weight and working out 6 days a week. And now within 5 days, she lost 2 pounds and she's working out 3 days a week. Okay. This is what you're looking for if you're ready to commit and if you're ready to get this handled once and for all. If you're looking for leanness, strength, confidence, knowledge, self-worth, and perhaps most importantly, power. Let me tell you, do you know how powerful it is? Have all your friends saying, well, I do fasting and then I do keto and then I run intervals and, it's like, you don't need to do any of that. Okay. You can have your flourless chocolate cake and eat it too. I had the most amazing flourless chocolate cake. That's why I keep mentioning it. And I'll probably eat it again because I love I'm going to take a picture of me eating it and flexing my abs so you can see how lean I am and that I actually eat it. And not to rub it in, but I'm just showing you what I do works. And how would that make you feel to be eating whatever it is that you like and still getting leaner? Like a freaking superhero, because it's like having a superpower. And all you got to do is go to legendarylifeprogram.com/apply to apply to be part of the program, because we don't take everybody. We only take the people who are ready, the people who are like Sarah, who are like Bassie, who are like Karen, who are like John, who are like Dale. They were tired of the BS. Some of those people you don't know yet, but you're going to hear their stories. They were tired of all the conflicting information. They were tired, most importantly, of not getting results, even though they were working hard for it. They were ready to take back the power they have deep inside of themselves. And if that's something you're interested in, I want to speak to you. Go to legendarylifeprogram.com/apply. And on the call, we're going to help you get total clarity about exactly what you want your body, health, and lifestyle to look like, as well as the exact steps you should take to becoming leaner, sexier, healthier, faster than you ever thought possible. Every single person gets results faster than they thought possible. I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't get hard halfway through. It can get hard for some people because they lose a little bit of motivation, but we keep the results coming. So anyway, if you want that, I'm happy to hop on the call, and the cost of the call is free. And if we think it's a good fit, we may invite you to be part of the coaching program, but you've got to apply. And if we work together, I'm going to put you through the same program that we put our most successful clients through. Not only will you make serious progress in 12 weeks, and really you're going to see results in the first week, but you will take what you use, just like Sarah did, to keep your physique. You will not need to go on another coaching program. You will not need another diet book. You will not need to ask your friend, hey, is keto better than Atkins or low carb or paleo or whatever? You'll be done with those questions. If that sounds good to you, again, legendarylifeprogram.com/apply, and looking forward to speaking with you.